Something is redirecting your life right now, not by accident, not by chaos, but by a deeper intelligence that knows exactly where you need to go even when you cannot see it yourself. And by the end of this video, you will recognize the 10 clear signs that this redirection is already in motion, already working on your behalf, already moving you towards something far better than what you have been holding on to. This is perhaps the most important thing a Cancer can understand in a season of difficulty or uncertainty. What feels like disruption is often direction. What feels like a door closing is often the universe clearing your path. What feels like loss is often the beginning of something that was never possible while you were holding on to what came before. But understanding that truth with your mind is very different from feeling it in your bones. And right now, the 10 signs you are about to hear are designed to move this understanding from your head all the way down into your heart, where you actually live. Because that is where real reassurance lands for Cancer. Not in logic, not in explanation, but in the felt sense that things are genuinely, meaningfully, purposefully unfolding in your favor. Stay with this. Every single one of these signs is real, and more than one of them is going to resonate so deeply that you will feel something release in your chest. That release is exactly what this is for. Sign 1. The thing you kept trying to force has stopped working, and no matter how much energy you put into it, it simply will not move. And that resistance, as frustrating as it is one of the clearest signs that life is trying to redirect you towards something that will actually work. This first sign is one that Cancer encounters at the beginning of nearly every meaningful period of redirection, and it is also one of the most difficult to interpret correctly while you are in the middle of it. When something you care deeply about stops yielding to your efforts, when a relationship will not soften no matter how much care you pour into it, when a plan you have invested in refuses to come together despite every effort, when a situation that you have been trying to hold in place keeps slipping through your fingers, the natural response is to try harder, to invest more, to find a different angle of approach and push again. But there are times when resistance is not a problem to be solved. There are times when resistance is information, when the universe is not saying try harder but rather try differently or even try elsewhere. For Cancer, releasing something you have invested significant emotional energy in is genuinely difficult. You bond deeply. You commit fully. You do not give up on things lightly because for you, giving up can feel like failing. But there is a profound difference between giving up and letting go. Giving up comes from despair, from the belief that nothing better is possible. Letting go comes from trust, from the understanding that what is not working for a reason, and that the energy you have been directing towards something immovable is needed somewhere else. The resistance you are experiencing right now is not your failure. It is the redirection beginning. Let it lead you. Sign 2. Someone or something that was once a central fixture of your daily life has faded into the background, and though you expected to feel more grief about it, you find yourself experiencing something more like relief, and that relief is telling you something very important. The second sign of being redirected is the unexpected lightness that comes when something exits. For Cancer, whose emotional world is organized so deeply around attachment, around the warmth and security of familiar people and familiar situations, losing something or someone from the center of your life is supposed to feel devastating. And sometimes it does. But there are other times when something you expected to grieve simply lifts. And the lightness you feel in its absence surprises you, almost embarrasses you because you feel you should feel worse than you do. But this unexpected relief is not callousness. It is clarity. It is your inner self recognizing something that perhaps your conscious mind was not yet ready to fully acknowledge. This thing, this person, this situation, it was costing you more than it was giving you. It was taking up space that was needed for something else. The relief you feel is the relief of a weight being lifted, of an obligation quietly resolved, of a tension you had been holding for so long that you had stopped noticing it until the moment it was gone. Do not interpret your relief as evidence that the relationship or situation did not matter. It did matter, but it has completed its purpose in your life. And the space it has left behind is not empty, it is available. It is open. It is waiting to be filled with something that actually fits who you are right now. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Sign 3. Your instincts have been speaking very clearly about a particular situation, and the more you try to rationalize your way past what your gut is telling you, the louder that instinct becomes, because the redirection you are moving through is trying to speak through your body, not just your mind. The third sign is the amplification of Cancer's most powerful gift: intuition. When you are being redirected, your intuitive faculty becomes almost uncomfortably acute. You may find yourself knowing things about people and situations that you cannot logically explain. You may find that a particular choice or direction feels subtly but unmistakably wrong, even when everything on the surface appears fine. You may find that certain environments or situations create a physical reaction in you. A tightening, a discomfort, a sense of wrongness that is not rational but is deeply consistent and impossible to fully dismiss. This is not paranoia. This is your deepest intelligence trying to communicate with you through the most direct channel available. Cancer's intuition is not an occasional visitor. It is a constant, sophisticated inner guidance system that has access to information your rational mind simply does not. And in a period of redirection, that system works overtime. The message it is sending you right now is worth taking seriously. Not because your fears are always correct, but because underneath the feelings of unease or wrongness or just not quite right, there is a directional intelligence pointing you away from what does not serve you and towards something that does. Follow it, even when following it requires you to do something that looks inexplicable from the outside. Your gut knows things your calendar does not. Sign 4. A coincidence has occurred, or perhaps more than one, that was too specific, too perfectly timed, or too meaningfully connected to your current situation to dismiss as random, and somewhere in your chest you already know it was not random at all. The fourth sign is the appearance of what might be called meaningful coincidences. Moments where the connection between an inner experience and an outer event is so precise that the word coincidence barely seems adequate. You might have been thinking about someone and then heard from them. You might have been struggling with a specific question and then encountered, completely unexpectedly, the exact piece of information or perspective that began to answer it. You might have been in a moment of particular doubt, and then had an experience of such perfect timing that it felt almost like a response from something larger than ordinary life. Cancer, whose connection to the invisible dimensions of existence is one of the most developed of any sign, tends to recognize these moments immediately and feel them deeply. But the habit of living in a world that does not always affirm this kind of awareness can cause you to second-guess what you feel, to call it wishful thinking, to explain it away. Do not explain it away right now. These moments of meaningful coincidence are navigational markers. They are signs that you are moving in the right direction, or that you are being shown something important about the direction you need to move in. Pay attention to them. Write them down if you can. They are part of the language through which your redirection is being communicated, and they are speaking directly to you. Sign 5. Something you thought you wanted very much has lost its appeal, and the version of the future you were working toward no longer excites you the way it once did. And rather than this being a reason for despair, it is one of the clearest possible confirmations that you are being called towards something more truly yours. The fifth sign is the fading of the old desire. For Cancer, desire is a serious thing. You do not want casually. When you want something, you want it with depth and commitment, and you are willing to be patient about it in a way that many signs simply are not. So when a deep, long-held desire begins to fade, when the future you were working toward begins to look less like something you cannot wait to reach and more like something you are not even sure you still recognize, it can feel disorienting and even frightening. But this is one of the most reliable signs of genuine redirection, because desires that are truly ours do not fade when we grow. They deepen and clarify. The desires that fade are the ones that were never quite ours to begin with. They may have been inherited from someone else's expectations. They may have been shaped by a version of ourselves that was responding to old wounds or old fears rather than genuine longing. Whatever their origin, their fading is not a crisis. It is a clarification. And in the space where the old desire used to live, something new is already beginning to form. Something that belongs more completely to the person you actually are, not the person you were trying to be. Some people watch. Others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting. It's about moving. Sign 6. You have found yourself being drawn to entirely different kinds of conversations, information, or experiences than you were before. And the things that used to hold your interest no longer do, while things you previously ignored are suddenly speaking directly to something alive inside you. The sixth sign is the reorientation of interest and attention. When you are being redirected at a deep level, the shift does not only happen in the big dramatic moments, it also happens quietly, in the texture of everyday curiosity. What you read, what you listen to, what draws your eye and holds your attention. All of these begin to shift, often before you are even fully aware that a deeper shift is underway. You might find yourself gravitating toward conversations about things you have never considered important before. You might find yourself feeling strangely moved by ideas or perspectives that your former self would have dismissed or simply not noticed. You might find yourself losing interest in topics that used to absorb you, while simultaneously finding a new and vivid engagement with things that feel entirely unfamiliar. This reorientation of attention is the inner self adjusting its focus, pointing toward the new territory that the redirection is moving you into. Pay attention to what is drawing your interest right now, even if it seems random or unrelated to your current circumstances. Your attention is a compass, and right now it is being recalibrated. The things it is pointing toward are part of your new direction, even if you cannot yet see exactly how they fit into the larger picture. Sign 7. A difficult ending from your past, something that you once experienced as purely painful, purely loss, is beginning to look different from where you are standing now, as though time has handed you a new pair of lenses through which its meaning has fundamentally changed. The 7th sign is the reinterpretation of the past. One of the most extraordinary aspects of a genuine period of redirection is that it does not only change your experience of the present and your anticipation of the future, it also changes how you see what has already happened. Experiences that were once simply painful begin to reveal the ways in which they were also formative. Endings that seemed like failures begin to show themselves as necessary completions, as closings that had to happen for the right openings to become possible. For Cancer, this kind of retrospective shift is profoundly meaningful. You carry your history with you in a very alive way. The past is not, for you, simply past, it is woven into your present sense of self, into your emotional landscape, into the way you understand who you are and what your life has been about. When the meaning of a difficult past experience begins to shift, when you can finally, for the first time, see its purpose, that shift is one of the most healing things that can happen. It does not erase what was painful, but it places the pain inside a larger story, one in which you were not simply a victim of what happened but a person who was being prepared by what happened for what was coming next. This shift in perspective is one of the clearest signs that your redirection is working at the deepest level. Sign 8. Your relationship with the idea of control has shifted. You are less desperate to control outcomes than you once were, and in the moments when you have been willing to simply let things unfold, something consistently better than what you planned has arrived. The 8th sign is the loosening of the grip of control. For Cancer, the need for control is understandable and deep. It comes from the same place as all your most beautiful qualities, from your profound care for the people and circumstances you love, and from a genuine awareness of how fragile and precious things can be. You control because you care. You plan because you are afraid of what happens when things fall apart. You hold on tightly because you know better than most how much can be lost. But something is beginning to shift in this. The redirection you are moving through is teaching you, through repeated, unmistakable experience, that the things you tried to control did not necessarily go better for the controlling. And the things you let go of, the outcomes you stopped trying to engineer, the conversations you stopped rehearsing, the situations you finally just released to unfold as they would, those things have, in many cases, resolved themselves in ways that were better than anything you would have designed. This is one of life's most important lessons for Cancer, and it is one you can only truly learn through experience. The loosening of control is not resignation. It is trust. And the trust you are beginning to develop in the intelligence of life, in the rightness of your own path, in the idea that you do not have to manage every outcome to be safe, this trust is the foundation of everything that your redirection is building. Sign 9. Someone new has entered your life or will very soon, who does not quite fit the pattern of the people you have historically been drawn to, and yet something about their presence feels unexpectedly right, unexpectedly clear, unexpectedly aligned with the version of yourself that is emerging. The 9th sign of redirection is the arrival of new people who reflect the new you. When you are genuinely being redirected, when the deeper current of your life is shifting course, the people who appear in your life begin to shift as well. The universe has a way of populating the new chapter with characters who belong in it, even when you have not yet fully written that chapter yourself. This new person, or this new quality in an existing relationship, carries something in them that resonates with where you are going rather than where you have been. They may challenge you in ways that feel productive rather than depleting. They may see you with a clarity that surprises you, noticing things about you that your longest relationships have overlooked. They may simply create a space of ease around them, a quality of interaction that feels less effortful than you are accustomed to, less fraught, less laden with history and old patterns. Pay attention to whoever is arriving in your life right now. Pay attention to how you feel in their presence, because the people who appear during a period of genuine redirection often carry within them a key to the door you are about to walk through. Sign 10. You are beginning to feel, underneath all the uncertainty and all the discomfort and all the changes you cannot fully explain, a quiet but growing sense that everything is actually going to be all right. Not because everything has been fixed, not because the path is suddenly clear, but because something deep inside you knows that you are being taken care of, that the direction you are moving in is right, and that the life waiting for you on the other side of this redirection is one that you will be truly glad to inhabit. The 10th sign is the arising of deep, quiet faith. Not a loud or performative faith. Not the forced optimism that says everything is fine when everything is difficult, but a real grounded cellular sense of rightness. A knowing that lives not in your thoughts but in your bones. For Cancer, this kind of deep inner faith is extraordinary, because you are a sign that feels everything so fully, so immediately, so without armor. When things are difficult, you feel the difficulty completely. Which means that when this quiet sense of rightness begins to arise despite the difficulty, when you can feel both the uncertainty and the underlying okayness at the same time, that coexistence is remarkable. It is the sign of a person who has grown wise enough to trust the process, who has been through enough to recognize that the most disorienting moments of life are often the most meaningful ones, who knows, in a way that only experience can teach, that being redirected is not being abandoned. It is being guided. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are. The redirection is real, Cancer. Every one of these 10 signs is a message from life itself, telling you that you are not lost. You are being found, led, and brought towards something more genuinely yours than anything you have been trying to hold on to. Trust that, and keep moving.